Ever since Washington took a 7-0 lead on Alabama in the first quarter of the 2016 Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, the playoff fortunes of the Pac-12 have been pretty much non-existent. The Huskies didn't score again in that game, and the conference hasn't had a team reach the national semifinals in the last 3 seasons. The pivotal team is Oregon, which FBI sees as the clear conference frontrunner. Even with the uncertainty over replacing Justin Herbert at QB, the Ducks are considered to be at least 10 points better than every other team in the league except USC. In the Power 5, only Clemson is a bigger conference favorite than Oregon, which is given a 59% chance to repeat as Pac-12 champion. Normally, this would be great news for the league's playoff hopes. The potential problem is that out of conference, the Ducks host Ohio State. That showdown is third on FPI's list of most impactful regular season games in the FBS, and is the only game in the top 12 that features a Pac-12 team. The Buckeyes are being given a 62% chance to win, and if they do, Oregon's playoff hopes probably rest on going undefeated through conference play, something that hasn't been done in the Pac-12 since divisional play began in 2011. According to the All-State Playoff Predictor, Oregon's chance to reach the college football playoff is now 22%. That nearly doubles to 40% if the Ducks beat Ohio State. But a loss to the Buckeyes cuts that probability almost in half, down to 12%. And reaching the playoff is extra important for the Pac-12 champ this season, because it's the only chance to play in the Rose Bowl, which is a semifinal location. Regardless, there will be a league champion, and the Ducks aren't the only team that could lift the trophy. Like Oregon, USC is expected to be pretty good, rated 13th in the country by FPI and projected to have a top 10 offense. The Trojans are given a 62% chance to win the Pac-12 South and a 28% chance to take the conference title. After that, it's a big drop-off to Utah, which is the only other team given at least a 5% chance to win the league. Utah benefits from what FPI considers to be the easiest conference schedule in the Pac-12. A couple of other teams from the South, however, weren't as lucky with the draw. Colorado's league slate is deemed the most difficult in the Pac-12, and Arizona has a 4-game stretch that's rated as 5th toughest in the FBS for 2020. FPI expects Stanford to be the conference's most improved team, climbing back above 500 after going 4-8 last season. The projection is that the Cardinal will be about 4 points per game better on each side of the ball, and they're aided by a schedule that ranks 39th, a nice break compared to a slate that was 3rd toughest in the country for the 2019 regular season. That said, teams like Stanford, Washington, and Utah might all struggle to reach the standards they've set in recent years. FPI's simulations of the conference schedule paint a clear picture of why Oregon and USC are considered the league's only playoff contenders. And SC's playoff hopes aren't nearly as high as Oregon's because the Trojans have what FPI rates as the 10th most difficult schedule in the nation. That begins with a season opener against Alabama and ends with the finale versus Notre Dame. And it's not insignificant that USC also has to play at Oregon and could then rematch with the Ducks for the conference title. It's all part of the reason the Pac-12 is being given only a 28% chance to end its 3-year playoff drought. And if USC and Oregon both lose their early out-of-conference tests, that probability plummets to 14% after just 2 weeks of play. Each season brings new hope for many in college football, but for the Pac-12, this season's best hope seems to reside in Eugene, Oregon.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.